admit my failures. They had nothing to do with children.
A detailed 60 Minutes report shows something else. Good evening, everyone. Last week, News 4 spoke exclusively with Bishop Richard Malone about the church's handling of the clergy's sex abuse allegations.
But some of his statements don't line up with church records obtained by 60 Minutes. News 4's Jen Shantz has more on this. Jen?
Well, Jackie, the words of a former executive assistant, 2 current members of the Buffalo Diocese, and pages of secret church records point to several contradictions between what the bishop said to News 4 and what 60 Minutes uncovered.
When I arrived in the diocese 6 years ago, one of the first questions I asked my senior team was, can I be certain that any priest with a substantiated allegation of abuse of a minor is off the job, is out of ministry? And they said, yes, you can, because they had been removed.
The cases of Father Art Smith and Father Fabian Mariansky challenge what Bishop Malone told News 4 during an exclusive interview last week. The 2 priests, both accused of sexual misconduct with minors, were left off a list of 42 accused priests the diocese released in March. Records obtained by 60 Minutes show that after claims against Smith were sent to the diocese, Bishop Malone endorsed him for a job as a cruise ship chaplain, saying, quote, "I am unaware of anything in his background which would render him unsuitable to work with minor children." According to 60 Minutes, Mariansky, accused of having a sexual relationship with a teenage girl, was left off the list because church leadership, quote, did not remove him from ministry despite full knowledge of the case, so including him on the list might require explanation.
I think the hypocrisy of the lip service, yes, Bob, I agree with you, and then I would walk out of an office and nothing would happen.
Father Robert Ziliaks, former counsel to Bishop Malone and current priest at St. Mary's Parish in Swarmville, spoke to 60 Minutes about his concern with the bishop's handling of abuse allegations.
A lot of cases probably should have gone to Rome at the time. They did not.
Bishop Malone also says cases in the past were not sent to Rome.
They were supposed to have been. I did that in Maine, and we were doing it elsewhere. It just didn't happen, and I can't track down the reason for it.
Malone told News 4 he's been working to prepare cases to go to the Vatican for a formal judgment. News 4 has asked the diocese how many cases have been sent to Rome and when they were sent there. We have not heard back.
How many of those priests should have been taken out of the priesthood?
I would argue at least 8 or 9.
How many of them still are in the priesthood here in Buffalo?
All of them.
Again, News 4 asked the diocese for a response to Ziliak's statements. Our requests for comment have not been answered. Instead, the diocese released a series of statements today claiming the 60 Minutes report is, quote, incomplete, out of context, and in some cases plainly inaccurate, though the diocese would not provide specific examples of this despite our requests. You can read those full statements online at WIVB.com. Jen Shantz, News 4 at 6.